Happy Monday. I don't know how else to put it. Welcome back to another video. It has been a Monday from hell. Not that any other Monday is not, but I don't know even where to start or how positive Saturday was. For those who follow my videos, my daughter's high school softball team won the state championship. They upset a nationally, which I didn't know at the time, but that team had been the state champions like 3 or 4 years in a row, and they were nationally ranked. And my daughter's team pulled off the upset, and decidedly, like, it was crazy. So for that high, then yesterday, if y'all caught my videos, it sunk down. And then this morning, I feel like I am a parent with children. And I've tried to kind of stay neutral and out of it because of this channel. But my PMs and everything have been blowing up. And then I start this up to do a video. My green screen is completely screwed up. It defaulted back to no green screen at all. I am trying to fix it. And as you can see right now, it looks like I got half a neck on this side. Maybe it might slim me down a little bit. I don't know. My colors are changing. It's been absolutely crazy. I'm going through my stats on YouTube, trying to, put out a better product and stuff. And I'm seeing that, at one time, these Monday videos was one of my best viewed videos. It had the most feedback. People contacted me about it. And I'm noticing like the last two were complete poop. So I'm at a loss right now. I don't know if I should keep doing these because I feel like I'm boring the absolute hell out of y'all. And, I've always said it's hard to do a video about 10 or 12 different projects and keep it under an hour. I feel that if I skip over some, then I'm not doing that project any good. Looking at some of the search terms, because you can actually go into YouTube and see what your subscribers and what people searched for, like after they were done with your video and stuff. I'm seeing them search a lot, like passive income ideas and different things like that. So I'm wondering if should I not do so much update type videos, and should I be doing more passive income? My fear is I don't like to do videos on stuff unless I can back that project. If I can, if I know stuff about it. I don't want to be one of these YouTube channels like I see where they talk about ABC project and they're just kind of discussing the project, but they're not in it. They tell you they're not in it, though they're just discussing it. I feel like that is not doing a service to you. Or maybe do I need to start a new series that, hey, here's this new project. Let's talk about it. And then y'all can make a decision on your own. Maybe I'll make a decision on my own. But I really can't get in any more projects, and I feel I'm doing a service to y'all. So that's something that's been on my mind also. But let's get into some of the shenanigans that have been going on today. Please take the time right now to hit the thumbs up button. There's nothing more you can do to help my channel out and to help all these projects that we talk about by getting the word out when people search for them and do out the algorithm with YouTube and stuff like that. Please hit that thumbs up for me. Hit the like button. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet. And we'll help each other out through this bull run that's coming up and help each other out in this crypto market. Well, if y'all are in Discords at all, I keep telling y'all all the time to make sure y'all are in Discords. Y'all have seen some of the stuff going on back and forth between two projects. And again, I've tried to stay out of it because I don't know what's going on behind the scenes. And then I recently joined one of those projects, Discord, because I was asked by several people to look into it, like I was talking about earlier. And other than some things I've heard, I really know much about it. Didn't really see anything that concerned me too much. I tell you in the past, I'm weary on projects that I got to do a big upfront stake and license and stuff like that. So look, this was going on at 8 or 9 o'clock this morning. I've been regretting, or not looking forward to doing this video because I don't know how to put it exactly into words to be fair to all parties involved. Um, BitHarvest knows I am very 100% behind them. And from what, again, this is all on Discord, so I'll try to discuss about as much as I can tell y'all, is BitHarvest recently came out with, after a lot of people are asking for it, Bobcat software to be able to burn the Bobcats and do this and get the BitHarvest software on there. And apparently BitHarvest used an open source, again, keyword open source, meaning other people can use it. Open source is nothing new to crypto. There are a lot of projects that have used open source. I think like the ADSB, that DFly and Wingbits and all these other, type of projects like that is all open source. And Crank people, the Crank guy who he's a lively fella, is what I'll say. I've seen him in other Discords before. He was quite upset with the fact that that BHS was using that. And then so that kind of went back on and forth and stuff like that. And again, I'm trying to figure out how to put this kind of nicely, bluntly, but we got to stop. This is like two petulant children going back and forth to have the last word in. But what pisses me off the most is, it's one thing to have the people from this project discussing it with the guy with this project. That's enough as it is. It's when here comes the gang warfare. And if you've watched my videos at all over the last, even when I was with DFly and I was stupid, I've always said that I can't handle this gang mentality warfare, if that's what you want to call it. You got the crew of the Crank people coming over to the BitHarvest on their side of the road or the street, whatever you want to call it. Like this is gang stuff. Almost, I don't want to curse because I don't want to get my YouTube channel in trouble. I do a good enough job of those. But you have this gang that comes from over here asking obvious questions just to stir the chit pot. Now, I don't mean chit. You know what I mean? Hey, Bobcat's free? If I put your software on here, is the Bobcat free? No, everybody knows, it's no secret that they charge for the BitHarvest firmware. It's not like they have just the BitHarvest, the Bobcat stuff. It's not like they have the Bobcat stuff by itself for free. You're paying for the whole package to be able to multi-mine on different miners. It doesn't matter if it's a rack, if it's a MNTD Gold, if it's a Sense Cap, if it's a Syncrobit, or if it's a Bobcat. You're paying for the whole suite that you can download all these different projects on it. Now, I'm not going to get in the schematics of whether or not what's right and wrong. That's for each person to decide. But you have, again, but then you have now people going over to the Crank side and then starting stuff with them. And then what pisses me off the most, and what's the most embarrassing about this is, it spills over into the Wingbits thing. And you got Crank people going into the Wingbits thing saying, oh, y'all going to allow this scam to continue? Y'all going to listen? Look, Wingbits, I have to say, and y'all know I'm very high on Wingbits, and I have to say they run one of the most streamlined, strict, smoothest servers, Discord servers that they got. These are the rules. You will not talk about other projects. You will not do all this other stuff. We have an off-topic channel for that. Bring it over there. When people bring up any other projects that could possibly work with Wingbits or anything, scam projects, anything, those mods are on top of and said, bring that stuff to the other channel or get it off of here. But now, because Crank people want Wingbits to call out, now they're like, well, you allow them to say this, but now you won't call out scam. Please tell me where the scams are. The fact that people just use that word, it's annoying. You know, just like people used to use the Ponzi word everywhere. Do you know what that is? Like, what's the scam that you're talking about? They used open source firmware, open source code, or whatever it is. They charged because their whole package, their whole suite, they didn't put all that together. You know, it just pisses me off. And when you think it's over with, then they bring it to the Moken board. I didn't even go into that one because I knew it spilled over. You have two people who are passionate about their projects, and I'll give them that. bhst is passionate about the project. They've been working on this project for over 3 years. 3 years. Before this ever came out within the last 24 hours about which code they're using or anything like that, 3 years. They weren't using that code back then. So what? So now the whole project, it's strictly this gang mentality that, you know. And then last I checked, for Crank, you have to stake hundreds of dollars worth of Cardano coins, whatever it's called, and then you have to pay for a license. But then now they say, well, yeah, but if you want to just do this Bobcat for a minute, we were not going to charge for that. Well, that's on y'all. You know, I'm trying to stay somewhat open-minded because I know everybody's going to say that I'm slanted one way or another. I just know that these guys from BitHarvest mean the best and that they are busting their butt on what they're doing. I'm not saying, you know, this is 100% right this way, this is 100% right this way. I know you have two guys that are hot-tempered, that are passionate about their project. I will give both of them that. They're both passionate about their project. They care about their project. They want their project to succeed. And guess what? They both can succeed. There's enough room in the crypto realm for both of them to succeed. And I put on my Twitter earlier, and I commented earlier when somebody brought up about, well, does that mean Grumpy don't support this one or don't support this one? And I said, my opinion is that this stuff has to stop because this is not healthy for crypto. It was I think it was in the Wingbits one, because I said in that Discord, this should be concentrating on Wingbits. And then mods put an end to that. But that's the truth. Is for crypto, this is not healthy for crypto. There's enough room in here for everybody's project. You can have Frank be 100% successful. People make some good income from that. And you can still have people who are 100% successful with BitHarvest and make some good income with that, and everybody move on. If you don't like the fact that somebody else might be using your stuff, then don't make it open source. And look, maybe if that was my open source stuff or whatever, maybe I'd feel different. You're right. But for right now, there's a lot of open source stuff that's out there, and people are charging for it because of how they wrapped it in a package or anything like that. That's outside. I do IT work here. I do a lot of programs and a lot of things like that. And if you, even in the ham world, you want to get started on open source, people fighting and suing over that, it's stupidly crazy. You can't have open source and then complain when somebody else uses it. Now, somebody wants to correct me. If something's new or something's different. You know, maybe open source does not mean freeware. Understand it for people who are older like me. But I think some of this is I'm just too old for this crap. And now I'm taking up way too much of this video that's already too long to address it because, again, my Discord PMs were blowing up. My Facebook PMs were blowing up. In whatever way other people contacted me. While it's Monday, which is always helping me at work because I got to break everything that people broke up. Got to fix everything that people broke over the weekend. So I addressed it. I ain't taking sides. It's over with. You got Crank saying that BitHarvest ain't doing it right, and they're gonna brick some Bobcats. BitHarvest says they have it solved. Here's what it is. I got it running on mine. It's not a problem. Now, does that mean that you can send a Bobcat to either one of them tomorrow and it not mess up? I can't say that. I'm not a Bobcat expert by no means. That's why I've told you all that in the past. I don't help any people have been asking me about Bobcats since the D-Fly days, and I said Bobcats the one thing I will not discuss because, and I've told you all this even over the weekend or the Thursday or Friday video I did when I said how BitHarvest is coming out soon with Bobcat firmware, and I told everybody, but it's way different. There's no SD cards. There's no SD card burning. It's got to use arcade dev tool, and all this stuff like that, and it's pain in the butt, and it's not for the lighthearted. I told all y'all that. I didn't think this was going to come out of it, but we got to move on. It is what it is. But I swear, I'm going to lose my stuff on somebody on Discord and get my screen name kicked out of good servers because calling a project, I don't care if it's BitHarvest or some of these other ones, I didn't even want certain people calling DeFi a scam until we had the evidence and can show. Just because somebody's using open source does not make them a scam. But everybody just likes to use that word. That word in Ponzi, it's like, we just use it all the time. When I don't agree with a project, scam. I don't agree with a project, Ponzi. You know, what's next? Get over it. I'm done with this subject. All right, so we're going to start this. And again, I'm all messed up right now. I don't even know where to start at because I know, again, looking at the stats, these are being too long. Nobody's watching it even 30, 40% through. So I don't even know how to even tackle this anymore. Y'all gonna have to let me know if y'all want these type of videos to continue, or maybe start telling me what y'all want with the channel, because maybe just the mood I'm in after dealing with this other nonsense. But looking at the stats, these are one of my worst performing. I thought the lives were bad because only, 5, 6, 7 people were in the lives. But like I said, a lot of people are watching that after the fact. Somebody told me it's at a bad time when I do the lives on Thursdays at 5 p.m. Central Time is a bad time. I'm hoping I can change that when I get my computer built at home. These videos now, which are one time of my strongest ones, are now my weakest ones. So I don't know. Maybe it's just something going on. I don't know. Maybe I need to wear a clown mask or something to keep it entertaining. Some dancing people behind me or something. I don't know. But we're going to go through. Y'all know the ranking system and everything, that kind of how I feel about projects and their stability and different things like that between what's on mainnet, what's on testnet, beta, waiting on arrivals, is it better to buy the coin, research, and whatever. So let's go. BitHarvest. Despite whatever happened this morning, I am still 100% behind BitHarvest. They still have a very good firmware. Hopefully tomorrow all this is over with and we get to move on. And I'm still putting it on my devices. I'm still pushing it out. And I'm not paid by them. I'm not employed by them or anything like that. It is what it is. It's still a darn good program that you can put on a device and it works. Instead of this Helium device doing one project now, it's doing 10 or 11. And then they're supposed to be coming out with more. Now it's going to become a competition between them and Crank. Crank said they're coming out with more stuff. And I hate to keep going there, but it's just baked in my mind now watching this nonsense. So now they're going to come out with more, which then BitHarvest said they're going to come out with more. Shut up. So we had a good AMA yesterday. Those guys are on there. Y'all know I'm very, very high on AMAs. Y'all know I'm very, very high on projects that are doxed. We got burned in the past by some projects that were not doxed. We're going to discuss another one that I learned some information on a little bit lower on this list. But for right now, we're talking about BitHarvest. BitHarvest had a great AMA yesterday. They released version 1.20, which had a lot of behind-the-scenes updates. And they discussed also, because that subject came up today too, with their dogtail and tail scale something you add. But dogtail has a disconnect button. I hate to keep harping on this, but I don't care if they have, it's their firmware. If there's an issue with it, I want them to be able to get into it. But they're attacking each other, and the Crank people are attacking because you got dogtail turned on and they can get into it. So freaking what? I want them to get into it. That's why I paid for it, so that they can figure out what's wrong with it. But you're gonna try to make this a big deal for your followers on your Discord, like as if it's something evil. And then the BitHarvest guys go back and say, well, you allowing SSH backdoors and stuff. And it's like, God damn, just stop. Anyway, BitHarvest firmware update. They have that special where you're going to pay for the year-long premium special. If you want the rebate, you can get a rebate on just the premium side. You get 60 days of premium to try everything out. After 60 days, and you get your rebate back of the premium. Then you you lose like whatever the premium things are. So they are passive mining, non-projects right now. You got Honey Gains, Pawns, Curecoin, Grass, Wingbits, Helium, Pi-Fi. Things were next. And the big thing that they just announced, Mist. So if y'all into the Mysterium, whatever it's called, VPN, I'm not familiar with it. That's just me, my personal preference. I don't want to really get into what my feelings are about that because I could be wrong. But I'm just not a VPN sharing fan. It's nothing to do with Mist, just the whole VPN Leary thing. But anyway, they're also, this is the big thing, they're testing out their own mining stuff. So they're going to add that as another thing. So you're possibly going to have 10 projects on here, maybe 11, with mining. So you can mine bhst token. I've told you all before, I purchased bhst token. I got it in a pool, and I'm doing very well with it. So if I can make some more bhst token with I'm now up to 6 devices on here that I'm running BitHarvest on, then I'm doing good. All right, moving on next, we got Helium. And Helium has had a little bit of a resurgence. A little bit, actually, it's had a pretty damn good resurgence. I'm doing about 8,000 a day average IoT. One day I'll break down and count how many devices I actually have running. And I think one's actually having issues right now. For some reason, I can't get the LoRa started on it. I don't know what's going on with it, but it's going to take a drive to a host location to get that, and I'm not in the mood for that. So that, 30 cents a day is going to have to wait. But as you can see, in the last day, just today alone, Helium has gone up 14%. Since we did this last video, Helium has gone up 45.5%. That is strong. And it even went lower than that. It was at 0.009 at the last video. It went down to 0.007, and it's at 0.13 now. So it basically doubled since the 25th. That was only 4 days ago. That was Thursday. That's pretty strong. Now, for the month, it's still down a little bit, but still, to see IoT recovering, I don't know why. I haven't really seen anything, heard anything. I don't know what's going on with it, but it is recovering. With mobile, we pretty much have gone sideways in the last 24 hours. However, in the last 7 days, this also has come up 30%. So, I mean, that's pretty good. Helium is also up on the day. That is almost at $6 now. It is up 14% in the last 24 hours alone. Up almost 50% in 7 days. And actually more than that, because it was at 345 on Thursday also. And it has come up also. For the month is down 2%, which is not bad, figuring it pretty much has went sideways. And I cover Helium on this channel because a lot of my followers have followed me from Helium. And I know that's where y'all came from with the previous projects and stuff like that, because we were converting Helium devices, and I had to eat crow on that. And I admitted that I ate crow on that because I was taking all my Helium devices off, and I have pretty much put them all back on, especially with the help of BitHarvest, because I'm more, if this makes sense, I'm more into Wingbits. And if I had a choice right now between, if I had a device that had to run either Helium or Wingbits, I'm running Wingbits. I'll be dead honest with y'all. Making 30 cents a day with Helium right now is for the birds. But with BitHarvest, I can run Helium and Wingbits along with Honey Gains, Pawns, Curecoin, Grass, and these other ones that I'm not really into right now. So I still cover Helium and what's going on with Helium. But I am taking that IoT, even though it's worth a little more, and I am still converting it Solana and HNT. And basically, it's just how I feel that day. Every day when I'm playing Call of Duty in the evening, and I about had enough of that game too, because the cheating's just getting out of hand. But it's like it's a habit. Hey, it's Call of Duty time, 10:30. I'm drinking my Bywater bourbon that I tell you all about. And I'm like, time to download. I download my IoT from all my devices, and I'm like, Solana, I did HNT yesterday. I'm doing Solana today. I'm doing Solana 2 days in a row. Depending on when this price of Solana is down to what it is, you know, you're looking at $138, $136 Solana right now. That is darn good pricing. Darn good pricing. When you figure it was at $200 something, what, a month ago, a little more than a month ago. You keep talking about it being $700, $800, $900 this bull cycle. I'm putting that into Solana instead of me having the DCA into it with my own money. Moving on, Soarchain Motus. I'm gonna tell y'all know, and again, I'll eat crow. I don't care. I keep telling y'all, you can't get stuck in a certain way with crypto projects. It is like the ocean, and projects we feel really good about can start getting issues that we get upset about. And the opposite, Motus. Y'all know that I had issues with Motus in the beginning. I couldn't get it connected. I had all kinds of issues. I still think, for the record, the way it's connecting is pain in the butt. That's one thing, the one thing I'll give DIMO. However, I do find that it's way more stable and it has improved since we first started using it. You're also hearing them talk about sometime in May, there should be a update that will allow Bluetooth. I have to see it to believe it. I have to see, more or less, I believe that Bluetooth's coming. Don't get me wrong. What I worry is it going to be automatic? When I get my phone there, is it automatically going to connect? You know, I still don't understand why, if I have a Wi-Fi type modem or something in my vehicle, I just can't keep it tethered to that and just let it run. Why does it have to have my phone? So technically, if anybody uses my vehicle that has the Motus in it, I'm not getting credit for it. And I just think that needs to be improved. However, what I will say is, now that negative's out the way, is there are a lot of things going on behind the scenes with this. You're hearing about, you got airdrops coming. You have, it's a layer 1 blockchain, so it's supposed to be different things being built on that layer 1 blockchain. They do have staking available. I've been looking into the validator. Somebody I know recently started the validator, so I've picked that validator. I'm gonna be honest with you, I was really hesitating because I wanted to be a validator. I have servers here that are not being used for anything. I have fiber for internet connection. I have UPS on top of generator, redundant power. I wanted to run a validator. I've been wanting to run one for Lunar Classic. Then they went and reduced that. I was looking into doing one for Motus, but from what I understand, they basically have been filled. So anybody that comes on now is not really getting support and that kind of stuff. So that's what I was waiting on. Changed my mind on it. I'll wait for the next project that I'll be late on again. And so I'm going to stake through this validator. So this is who I am planning on staking mine with. Again, this is me. None of this is financial advice. None of this is me telling y'all to do anything. I'm not telling y'all to do nothing but sit here and watch. But my plan is to, because I know Dash, I've dealt with him for a good amount of time now, since we've been in previous projects together, several previous projects together. And also, I really trust Big Maxi. If y'all know who Big Maxi is another guy who I've met in DeFly, and he was smarter than I was, jumped ship before I was. He's now involved with Wingbits also. He's involved, but he's also helped me with a lot of things behind the scenes that I don't know about. He's the one, for those who when we first all left DeFly, and I was telling y'all how to get Mongo and stuff off your devices and get all that DeFly stuff off your devices if you wanted to. He's the one that came up with those scripts and the GitHub and stuff like that. So I really trust him. He helped Dash put this together. So I am really supporting Davo Ash with, if that's how you pronounce it, but he's on Discord, but I am really supporting his validator. It's one of the ones that's in last place because it's the newest, like I said, but he He only has a 4.5% commission, which I think is one of the lowest you can do, but I'm supporting him. If y'all have T-Motus, and it's not even called T-Motus anymore, it's called T-Soar. But if y'all doing that project and you need somebody to validate with, consider giving him a chance. I also like to give the smaller guys a chance because I don't want to load up the voting power on some of these bigger ones. You see what the voting power is, and we have seen that problem in Luna Classic where these big chains, big validators, I mean, will have all kinds of voting power, so the little guy doesn't get a chance to vote on anything, and the big validators kind of tend to vote for what's best for them. You know, I know some people have had issues with it where they're saying their vehicle's dead, and they don't have that problem with DIMO. I have not run across that problem from what I understand, reading in the Discord, reading some other YouTube videos, watching some other YouTube videos and stuff. That seems to be more of a vehicle specific type issue where it's turning off the OB2 port, like I've said, but I'm not a car mechanic, so don't quote me on it. Also, you know, how healthy your battery is and that kind of stuff like that. But I'm gonna tell you, my family went out of town for that tournament. They left on Thursday, came back late Saturday. My son didn't start his truck till Sunday, so his was not started for 4, maybe 5 days, with a DIMO plugged into it. Didn't have any kind of vehicle issues or anything like that. My work vehicle that has the Motus plugged into it was parked for about 3 days. Didn't have any issues. I haven't had issues with it. Now, just for clarify, so nobody gets mad at me, you don't have to comment. I understand. Yes, people have had issues. I'm not saying you didn't. I'm just saying I don't think it's as widespread because there's a lot of people that have this product, you know, from what you see in Discord, and there's only a few people who are having this issue. Supposedly they have been addressing it. I understand it's not 100% addressed yet, but they are addressing it. But I don't want to act like I'm all 100% pro Motus and forgetting about the people that are having those issues. Trust me, I don't want to come out in the morning and find my vehicle dead either. They're addressing it. I'm hoping they address it. But what I'm going to say is I think, now I'm not the only one. If y'all look at certain other people on YouTube, they're saying the same thing. Motus is gaining momentum, and I think this is again, not financial advice, but y'all come to me to watch, you know, me make a fool out of myself, but I would look into it. Now, I see that they are trying to catch up on shipping and stuff like that. I don't know how long it's taking to get that in. What I saw suggested on some other YouTube pages, again, I'm going to say it again, not financial advice, is when you look at kind of what happened with DIMO and some of these other projects, I'm probably going to go along with them depending on the price, but I will probably buy some additional Motus when it is first released. Because I think what's going to happen is, I think the price is going to take a serious dip in the beginning, because you have people who have been, you know, I've been doing Motus since beginning of the year. So what is that, 4 months now? And they have people who've been doing this way longer than me. And they probably got several more, you know, people who are doing this with across the road, you know, country driving and stuff like that. People who are using this when they're doing, you know, ride share apps and stuff like that, driving for Uber and companies like that. They probably got a lot more tokens than I do, and they probably gonna be dumping to get some profit back, which is understandable. I don't fault any crypto project for people for doing that. You need to make ROI. I preach that all the time. You know, I'm not diamond handed all the way through a cycle like I did last time and crying because my wallet's 90% down in the end. I'm the only fool for that. So I probably will buy some of that token because that is how high I am on this project. That's why I'm going to stake it also. You stake it's 21 days locking period. I don't care. I'm running this. I just wish they would get rid of those few little bugs in the beginning. I don't have issues like I did in the past. There was times where I had to, like 2 and 3 times a week, had to re-provision that device. I understand that that's supposed to get streamlined a little better at some point, but I'm not having that. Knock on wood. I don't want to go in my truck right now and find it, but I'm not having that issue either. So if y'all haven't looked at it, I would look at it, Motus. That's why it's technically number 1 on my testnet list. So y'all look into that. Talking about NATIX. NATIX, I am up to 3,000 points. Again, I went to my daughter's softball tournament, which was on the west side of Louisiana, all the way at the state line. So that was a 3-hour drive there, plus around getting into out the park, then going to eat after, then driving back for another 3 hours, and I gained some points this weekend. I'm still ranked 222. They have that new nitro setting I told you about last week, where it's only set for certain days. I think it's 10 days. So if you know that every month or whatever, you know that there's certain 10 days you can be doing a lot of driving, you can do the nitro setting, which gives you bonuses for that. It's a multiplier. Don't forget you have all these challenges to do also. And the nitro will boost the challenge points also. So next week, which I don't know how I'm gonna get any videos done, but next week I will be out of town all week for an emergency conference. All the emergency coordinators around the state get together for an emergency conference to talk about stuff before hurricane season, talk about radio stuff and hazmat stuff, all these different things like that. That's another 3-hour drive for me. I might do nitro. The problem is the 2 or 3 days I'm there, I'm not gonna be driving at all. So I don't know what I'm gonna do yet. But NATIX did have an announcement that came out talking about that NATIX will launch on Solana. They have this NATIX with Solana. I don't know what WIF's got to do with it. I see where it says, you know, NATIX goes multi-chain with Solana. I don't know if they're just trying to use the WIF thing to get search points or something like that. I don't know. But there's a great article on it when you click on that link. The NATIX token will launch on Solana, bringing DePin and AI to the mobile era of Web 3. And y'all read up on this. Hoping that we go to mainnet soon on this. It'd just be nice to go to mainnet on some of these projects. For those of y'all who are messing around with all this Zealy stuff and Galaxy stuff and everything like that, again, I didn't mess with it. I told y'all before when this was all dealing with Zealy is I'm in for the project. I'm not in for all this extra stuff. There are people making some good points and doing different things with tasks and stuff with this. It was with Zealy and now with Galaxy, but y'all get into the Discord. Y'all check it out. Look what's going on with it. If anybody's doing anything with this stuff, hey, leave it in my comments. I'll pin it so that you can share it with other people. So, you know, y'all share amongst yourselves and help each other out. That's what I'm here for. I can't know everything about all these projects, but feel free to share. Next is Silencio. This is going to be quick. No new news. It's a project that I really like. I'm telling y'all, even at the softball game, I'm running Silencio. I set a 30-minute timer on my watch, and when the 30-minute timer goes off, I clear it out and I run it again. Especially if I'm going into anything new. If I'm getting out my truck at a gas station, and I've never been in that gas station before, or at least with Silencio running, I will start Silencio and go because I'm getting new hexes, and of course I'm getting the Silencio tokens. I'm up to a 91-day streak right now. I'm ranked 2614, which I've actually gone down, which I'm telling y'all, I am running this thing constantly. I'm going down in ranking. For those who are new, the beginning of the rankings, I think it's like 6 different levels, different leagues. I blew through those. I got the Diamond League, and they got some heavy hitters on there because I can't get past like 2,600. But I am doing 91-day. I'm at a 91-day streak. So for all the tokens I do, when I do measurements, I'm getting a 227% bonus on that. My goal is to get at least to 100 because there is a challenge for 100-day streak, and it's a lot of points. So that is my goal right now. But other than that, about the project, I have no news. I searched earlier because I felt bad because last week I couldn't find anything in Silencio, so I actually searched through this thing, and I mean, they got people running it, they got people talking about it, but nothing as far as new announcements. I don't know what's going on with it. Everybody keeps saying, you know, they're paired up with NATIX. We know that. That came out March 12th or 14th, I found. There's been nothing since then. So I still like the project. We know who the people are, but you know, I talked before about a project called Illumicate. And the reason I bring this up, and look, I'm not saying, please understand, I'm not saying that they're nowhere, you know, the same or anything like that. What I want to tell you is Illumicate was a project that I was big on because they deal with cameras. They dealt with cameras. I deal with cameras all day at work also. But I knew kind of that it would have been a hard sell to certain customers and stuff like that. Either way, but the people were doxxed. They were in the Discord. They were very passionate about their project. But it didn't matter. It didn't succeed. Some projects just don't succeed. No matter how much people are into them, no matter how much they put their blood, sweat, and tears, and only sleep 30 seconds a day, sometimes end. Again, I'm not saying this, so do not quote me on this, but I wonder if Silencio could possibly be running into that. Who's trying to buy? It's one thing to have sound meters, like we have these bunch of these chemical plants and manufacturing plants around here, and certain, nature people, whatever you want to call them, environmental people, have these all the time sensors there. Where Silencio, people might be interested in what's going on at this, as they call noise pollution, but then you don't know when they'll ever get another sensor test. That's just me and my fat gut thinking. Again, Silencio could be very successful. You just don't see nothing really going on other than being active. Being active is still a good thing because you don't want to go into Discord and not see nothing. Like I said, with WeatherXM, I'm going to say this. People have been in this project for a long time. I know for those who watch my videos, I say the same thing every Monday. People have been in this project way longer than me. They have more of a right to complain than I do. I did this for the weather. We had some crazy weather that came through earlier today around here. I got to look at my little weather station right here, even though it's sideways, because that's the only way it stays somehow connected to the station that's only 20, 30 feet away. But then I'll talk about that in a second. But so I'm into it for the weather geek side of it more than anything else. I got into WeatherXM knowing that if I ever get rewards, it ain't gonna be worth whatever. That's just it. And I still feel like that. Do I think I'll go to mainnet one day? Yes, because if not, at some point, everybody's going to abandon it. But even when it does go to mainnet, I just don't see it being crazy lucrative. Hey, if I can get my ROI back on it, I'm happy. Basically, that's how I am. I'm at 243 tokens right now. At what point they said the testnet tokens didn't matter because it was just them testing it out. Now you read that it does matter, and it is part of it. So I'm basically getting 3.3 to 3.4 tokens a day. I'm at 100%. This is actually not right. This is what I get for rushing. I'm at 100% for 6 days, which is one of my biggest freaking complaints about this thing, is the connectivity. Now, from what I understand, they have discontinued the Wi-Fi model like I have, and there's a new Wi-Fi model, some new model that's coming out as part of these issues. This miner is right on the other side of the roof from where this device is. 20, 30 feet. The fact that it cannot stay connected for 7 days is beyond me. I have another gentleman that I keep trying to help online because his device keeps losing GPS. I don't know how. Even with the external GPS connected the correct way and stuff, he loses GPS, and so he's losing some of his rewards. This is very wonky. Again, I have Davis weather stations, a Tempest and stuff like that. We don't have these issues. Don't have them. When you go into the WeatherXM, it's starting to get a little hostile. People are starting to lose patience. They keep asking the same questions over and over about when mainnet, when this, and WeatherXM just has the same kind of comments, replies. When like this guy just says, is there going to be any news? Yeah, when they're announced in announcements. Really? People, I don't know about any of this. It's just people are starting to lose patience. You can't keep saying that mainnet's coming. They've been saying it for a year. People keep the WeatherXM people keep going back to this video. This video don't say nothing. We're getting close to the mainnet. We heard that a while back, and then we heard that mainnet was ready, but they stopped because they were dealing with trying to work out something with a customer. And then now you hear then you heard that they were trying to do fundraising again. I don't know what's going on with them. Again, getting Weather XM if you like to have the cool little display and that kind of stuff like that. Don't get into it for the crypto side of it, because I don't know what or when that's going to be. If you don't mind just holding on, hodling some of these coins and hoping for the best, hey, get into it. But I just don't know where we're going to end up with that at. So that's Weather XM. Next is grass. As if this video wasn't long enough, and I told myself I wanted to make it shorter, but I guess there's a lot to talk about. We're going to discuss grass. Grass, I'm up to 1.5 million tokens. What's that mean? I don't know. There is absolutely no talk of mainnet or anything like that going on. You know, I saw some kind of video, passive crypto mining. If y'all know, I'm a big fan of his. I've had links for him in the past. I'll even maybe, if I can remember, because I always forget to put links. But I have a link to one of his videos that he did where you can sell your grass points to some project or something like that, but you're not technically selling until, I don't know. Y'all can look at that if you want. My issue with, well, one positive thing right now is it's added to BitHarvest. So, y'all know I have said over and over that I would not put the grass extension on any computer that I'm doing work on. I don't care if I'm paying bills on it or not. I'm definitely not doing any crypto type stuff with these computers. These are old computers that I dug out the closet, Windows 7, that I put on different networks that is running the grass extension. What's cooler is that with the BitHarvest stuff, that especially when it's on different external networks, because you can only do so much grass mining per external network in 24 hours, you can run it. Now, that's the good things. For those who don't know him, Swan Castle Crypto is a good guy who very professional. I'm very jealous of his production values and stuff like that. His screen is way better than mine, and he did a very good video on grass yesterday. So what I'm about to tell you is not just coming from me. He covers it also. He covers the good, he covers the bad, and the in-betweens. I will try to remember to put a link to this video also in my description. But what's he say? He says, you know, he likes grass. Grass could have a great future. He also talks about some of the things that concern him about grass. What I've said in the past, what concerns him. Well, y'all know I'm a huge fan after getting burned with the last project, DeFly, with teams that don't dox. You don't know who the grass team is. You can't get a full, there's a name or two here that, and he talks about also, when you go look on LinkedIn, you can't find anything about them. So they're not fully doxed. That is a huge red flag for me right now with that. This is a gigantic red flag that I was not even aware of, even though I have been telling you all this. But when you go look in their disclaimers and everything like that, this is scary. Wind Network is a suite of experimental blockchain associated functionalities. Using these functionalities, including the grass application, may pose significant risk. Not like some risk, significant risk to you and your online assets. This document contains very important information regarding these risks and your rights and obligations, as well as conditions limited, blah, 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 blah. We know we never read any of this stuff. South Park has a great episode if you ever want to see something funny about people who just go ahead and pass this stuff on and don't really read it and just approve it. It is a pretty funny one. So some other red flags. There's no tokenomics at all. Can't find tokenomics. You cannot find a white paper. You don't see any discussion of that kind of stuff. There's no audits. So no smart contracts. But like he says, and I'll use his terms, it's low risk, no cost. So if you can put this on a separate computer, you take a chance. You get involved in these early projects, They have some more risk. We know that. We've talked about it. Same thing with all these projects, with these testnet projects, even going all the way down here. I've talked about it before that you can't expect every single one to knock it out the park. You get involved with several of them. You hope one or two do very good. You hope one of them's the next Helium, you know, making $5,000 in 17 days like I did with Helium. And we won't be greedy. We're not going to ask for it from all of them. We hope, again, all of them are successful, but some we get a little bit wary of. That's why I got grass moved down to here. I'm running grass. I'm still running it on the 6 computers, 4 computers, 5 computers. I don't know. And another thing is I don't really go and check them to make sure they're running, because sometimes they do crash out for some reason. But now that I have the BitHarvest stuff running them, that's 3 more devices I have running grass on separate networks. Some of them are on the same network, so I'm maxed out for that network. So that's adding more grass to me. I'm at 1.5 million. Hey, trust me, I am begging and hoping that this goes to mainnet, but there is zero talk about it. Zero talk about it. That's just something y'all need to be concerned with. Wingbits, I've said it 17 times so far, and I'm trying to hurry up and speed this video up because I know y'all are probably just pulling your hair out for those who are still here. I will say that with Wingbits, they are still pushing forward. I've gained even more respect for them on how they handled that middle school drama this morning. They stayed even keel because they somewhat, I don't want to say they're involved in it, but they are somewhat involved with it because they are, I don't know if they're even partners. Their product, Wingbits, is on both of those OSs, those firmwares and stuff like that, and they didn't take any sides. They stayed up and they kept their Discord clean. It's 6 o'clock p.m. So we are 9.5, 10 hours past this drama. And I even see, just checking this now, people trying to bring it up again, and they are putting the kibosh to it and saying this is not going to be discussed anymore in here. It's over with. Move on. What it is people are waking up in different time zones across the world, now seeing what's going on and trying to bring it up, and they're kiboshing it. I'll give them A+ for that. Let it get worked out. To me, it should be over with. Again, it should be over with. But they had an AMA on Thursday. I didn't see it. Work. It's a middle of work, and I got to work. Sometimes I try to do my lunch around them, but they had too much stuff going on. So I need to try to catch up and see if it's on YouTube or anything like that. But I know that they are working. They're busting their butts. They're on schedule. We talked about that last week. Again, you can get in Discord, look at the announcements. I know they announced a testnet for May. They didn't give an exact date, but that's on their schedule. That's on their white paper. They showed all that on their Discord a while back. I went over it, but we are on the schedule, timeline, whatever you want to call it, and it's looking good. They talked about how they went to Dubai last week and they were very successful in whatever they were doing over there. They've talked about having some customers online, which I think is a great thing, so we can rub that in the face for a certain other project who said there was no way that this would ever be successful. And I think it's going to look absolutely awesome when this project passes up the other one that just keeps lying to people about mainnet and tokens and all kinds of stuff like that. Now I'm being childish, but I don't care. It's my channel. If I want to be childish, I can. And we've hit it. So Wingbits, even though we don't have really no big updates for this actual thing, this actual Monday video, they're still hitting it. I'm very excited for them. I think it's going to be big. Y'all know I'm still deploying more and more machines out there. I'm at 9 machines for me personally. I'm helping. I have a family member who has 2 devices. Really, that's because they set it up for the previous project and they moved them over here because why not? They're running strictly Wingbits. I think half of mine might be running bhst. I'm running 3 or 4 for some friends and helping them out with it and stuff like that. But it is great to see. I keep telling y'all, watching this map unfold, get populated, whatever word you want to say. I remember getting into this project last year, and you had, even before I was started mine, this was all empty. You had Texas, some of this up here around the Georgia area, some of California up here, and that was it. And to see this unfolding now is absolutely wonderful. So, so right now I'm doing about 50 million points per day. If you look at some of my stations, I'm doing 10 million here. Some are getting 8, 2, 3. I will tell you that this is a little bit lower. I've been playing with some devices with BitHarvest and some other things. So that might be down a little bit compared to what I normally do. But for the last 7 days, this is where I've been hitting at. Again, Gestapo of the Gulf. I got 100% here somewhere. And I keep saying, I just got to get off my butt. I am so busy. But my friend's waiting on his station for Corpus Christi, which will help me fill this up. And I got another station coming around here, which I'm hoping gives me this, and I'll be the godfather of the Gulf. Instead of, you know, keep messing with y'all and saying that. But for 30 days, this is where I'm at. 1.4 billion with a B for 30 days. And you can see what I've been hitting with some of these stations and stuff like that. But again, I'm very high on this project. I'm very eager, very eager, very eager. And a lot of people are, to see what the test net looks like, to see what kind of tokenomics we're going to get for our different devices. I'm really curious to see, you know, if it's really real time. I say real time, whatever you want to call it, where, you know, my device I showed y'all, one had 3-something million, the other one had 6 million. You know, what's the correlation to tokens and that kind of stuff like that. So a lot of people are very interested to see it take the next step, and I'm very excited about that. Hivemapper, not going to hit long on it. Token is still going down. You know, it's kind of sideways today. 7 days, it's been down 13%. For the month, down 35%. So where we saw Helium and IoT kind of getting that increase, this along with, you know, some other alts is kind of on that way down. But to be honest and transparent, I have been talking to people who are running Hivemapper and watching the videos, and people are still doing very, very well. And I hope that stays up. I have the Hivemapper B that is coming, B that's coming. And again, I'm supposed to be getting the 4,000 bonus when I do my certain mileage. So my certain bonus at this price right now will be about almost $400. I paid a little over $400 for it. So I just have a lot shorter time to our ROI. I will be also honest. I have gone back and forth if I was going to cancel that to get that money to just buy the token or buy a GEODNET. We'll talk about that in a second. But as of right now, I'm keeping this going so I can be involved in this project because y'all asked me for updates on it, and I really want to be involved in it. What I will say is if they don't have bonuses and stuff like that, I don't know what the bonuses are right now for purchasing, but I will say it could be possibly better to buy the token before this bull run really kicks off. That's my thoughts on it. But again, I'm hoping I get surprised sooner than later. It says Q3, that July, August. I'm hoping it comes in sooner than that. People are really, really, really making bank that have 2 of these cameras, one for the front, one for the side. I'm not buying that, but again, people are still doing very well in hunting. Hivemapper. DIMO, let me take a deep breath real quick. You know, another one that's going down 8% today. 7 days isn't too bad, 5.5%. Down 31% in the last month. But when you look at where this was, when this was up in these high, 57 cents, 60 cents, 57 cents, compared to where it's at now, almost in half, that hurts. And I'll describe it like I normally do. This is a project that I'm high on the project itself and the technology, kind of like the same thing I have, same gut feeling and what I have for Helium, especially the IoT side. The network itself and what they're doing, I have, a good feeling about. The mining aspect of it, maybe not so much. I'm making 66 cents per day on these devices. At one time, I had ROI'd on my 3 devices. That's why on this paper, you do see where I have this line through it, because 3 or 4 weeks ago, I had ROI'd on my devices. And again, that was with less tokens, but the price was higher. So I paid about $90 a piece for my devices. That's $270. Right now, I have 862 tokens. I'm gaining about 39 per week average. 2 of my devices are on a very good week, a couple of week streak. I think we have 16 weeks right now, 15, 16 weeks right now. Y'all heard my previous stories about I had to get a new vehicle for work, which means I had to replace it. It wasn't my choice, and my streak started over. And I think that's absolutely horrible, but I'm not going to go ahead and get into that right now. So right now, my DIMO are worth $250. So I'm not ROI'd on this. Do I think I'm ROI? Of course, but it's something that y'all ask. I've been in DIMO now, since about Christmas, or you can say first of the year. So here we are 5 months into it with still no ROI on my devices. That's something y'all might want to consider if y'all looking into getting this. Some people are hodl forever and might attack me for that. They're up to about 83,000 cars right now. You also notice that this is down, this 1.6 increase. They've had 1,600 new people come in. At one time, this was like 5,000 a week. Then it dropped to 3, then it dropped to 2,500, 2,000. Now we're down to 1.6. To be fair, I think part of this is the fact that there's a 6 to 8 plus week wait for these things. People are probably waiting for supply. Or some people are thinking like I have right here that, hey, if I'm going to drop $200 or $300 on this, I might as well buy the token, especially with the price dip that they're having. And I feel positive about the project. Buy the coin. If my college math fails me as usual, but with the calculator, you're going to need almost 30 weeks. If you buy 3 devices right now, it will take you 30 weeks, which is 3/4 of a year, just to get enough tokens of what you could buy today. In other words, you take $300 today, you'll get over 1,000 tokens. It will take you 3/4 of the year to get those tokens. You know this is going to go up. They got a bull market coming. Not financial advice, but this might be one of those projects. It's very popular. It's going to be successful. At least you hope. You never know what's going to happen with any of these projects, but DIMO is an established project. It might be better to buy the tokens. Hey, I might want to buy the tokens, but $250 off 3 devices since Christmas. I don't know. Y'all tell me what y'all think, but DIMO might be one that we pass on if it's brand new and just buy that token. GEODNET. I've been doing so much research on GEODNET. I did a video on it over the weekend, and the super hex and NFT and this device confuses the hell out of me, but I don't care. I am very big on GEODNET. I wish I would have pulled the trigger on it months and months ago when I wanted to. Y'all started telling me about it. I'm hard-headed sometimes, or I'm just so wrapped up in other things. But I'm working on getting a discount code. I have somebody help me out so I can offer that to y'all, because I'm going to be talking about GEODNET a lot. And I'll be offering y'all a discount code, I'm hoping, so that y'all can get a pretty decent chunk out of this. For those who haven't watched my previous videos, I have a follower who has a subscriber that has donated a GEODNET to me. And I don't like handouts, but this is one time, because I'm so high in this project, I had to swallow my pride a little bit. I can't thank him enough. He knows who he is. I'm not going to call him out or anything like that. I don't need all these people contacting him, asking him for a free GEODNET. What he tells me is, hey, he's been following my channel for a while. He followed some of my meme of the months. We made some darn good money with meme of the months, but he's also been in GEODNET for a while. If you've been in GEODNET for a while, you've made some really good money. So as a way of me keeping my Hivemapper coming in GEODNET so I can talk about it, I have a super hex close to my house. I'm still trying to learn this whole NFT, but I'm jumping into GEODNET. Feet first, ready to go. And they have been doing some very good things. GEODNET's been basically sideways today. Started 28 cents, ended 28 cents. 7 days though, it's been up 16%. For the month, it's at 28%. So it's going up, especially since my last video. It's up 1,300% for the year. I can tell you, there is a halving for rewards that's coming in July. It is a 4 to 6 week process to get those devices in, but I'm waiting, patiently waiting. I say patiently, but I've ordered this a couple of days ago, and I can't wait. It's going to be a truly passive income project. I told you I'm taking a day off of work whenever it comes in to go to where the super hex is, and there's only one spot left in the super hex, and if it happens to get filled, there's another super hex that I'm looking at that I have a friend. I haven't reached out to him or not yet, but I learned at a very young age by a wise man called the $1 Million Man in wrestling. Everybody's got a price. Everybody will put a goofy, circular, pancake-looking antenna on top of their house for the right price. And I've always preached against these host-type things, agreements, but I think GeoDNet's going to be that good. And the fact that they only have couple thousand miners out there, the price is, I guess, kind of helping that. Y'all haven't got the gist by now. I'm high on GeoDNet. XNET. Now, XNET's another project that I'm very weary that the fact that they can't get certified on CoinMarketCap for how long that project has been out for. In the last week, it was at 6 cents during my last video. It's down to 4.5 cents now. I know they had a lot of hype about this when it first came out. This was hit its, this is the month chart. It was at 14 cents at one time. So it's less than half of that. I don't want to go repeat myself. This video is going on way too long. XNET, last I knew, I didn't get it updated. I apologize, but XNET had some type of bonus that you can get once you downloaded X amount of data on it and stuff like that, once you receive it. And the amount of tokens at that time was enough to get about $100 off. That's when it was like at 60-something%, or 6 cents or something like that, down to 4. So I don't know exactly what that would equal up to. I still say, under the right criteria, if I have a buddy that has a gym or a coffee shop or a place where there's going to be a lot of traffic, people with AT&T phones and whoever else they work out any kind of agreements with, I would still give this a chance. Again, knowing that there's a couple of red flags with the fact that you can't find anything official that they have an agreement with AT&T. This has been brought up before by many YouTube channels that discussed it. And the fact that they can't even get certified on CoinMarketCap. Makes me lure. But for $200, which is expensive meal for you and your wife, maybe one time, and then you could possibly get some of that back with the bonus they have. Again, if I had that laying around, I would buy it. I would give it a chance. That's me. Under those circumstances, I would not buy this to go put it in my house, even if I have AT&T phones, or in my office where, I got 4 or 5 people that have AT&T phones. I would not take that chance. You're not going to get the kind of download you need to make this very profitable. But if you do have it, I'm watching somebody right now put this thing in a box and has it outside in some busy intersection where there's a lot of foot traffic. Try it out. But as far as the project itself, I'm comfortable enough with it that I would give it a chance if I really wanted to. Fry miner, you've heard me talk about before about Fry. Another thing, can't get on CoinMarketCap. Haven't really heard that much new about them. People, some people waiting on products to still come in. I don't know. This was at 0.002 cents on my last video. It's at 0.002 cents now. So it's not dipping really anymore. But I have people who keep proclaiming like it's this great thing that you know, you can add a fraud license to WeatherXM. You can add a fraud license to this. You can add a fraud license to that. I don't. This video is negative too much in the beginning. I don't want to go and sound just completely negative, but from the rewards I'm hearing by people adding those fraud licenses and spending $100 something on those fraud licenses to add, it's going to take you a while to ROI from that. But who knows what the future is? Who knows what the future is? You know, I keep telling people that I need to add a fraud license to my WeatherXM. And then when I say why, well, because you can do them on. Okay, why? Well, you'll make fraud. How much? The Helium IoT miner I got's making more than that. You know, and sometimes this just comes down to, are you mining just to say you're mining and doing passive income, or are you doing it because you truly believe that this will be a big thing, or, you know, a thing? If so, man, have at it. Do what you got to do. Do what you want to do. Nobody's stopping you. And fraud could, I've always said, if fraud can pull off all the stuff it's trying to do, it could be a very good thing. But again, I don't want to rehash it, but there are some things I'm concerned with. This project right here, I'm not even going to discuss. If y'all caught any of my videos over the weekend, some of the childish antics going on with it, it speaks for itself. The notes speak for itself. But when people get an airdrop and they try to sell $15 worth and get attacked and called out for it, there's an issue with that. I'm still staking all this stuff and getting involved in that. But again, with this video, how long it's gotten, I don't want to go and hash out too much of this stuff, because I know this is going way too long. It's 7 o'clock. I still got to edit this video, go to the gym, eat dinner, and all this stuff like that. So in closing, I know this video went too long. I know that half of y'all ain't here no more. That token I told you about that I got attacked for, I sold I have like over 5,000, maybe almost 6,000 of those tokens. If I wanted the record, I could try to sell them all, but I sold 250 just to prove to somebody I'd get called out, and it didn't take 24 hours. So what I'm planning on doing is I'm gonna sell some more of it. I'm gonna convert it to BitHarvest token, and I'm gonna airdrop it. So for those who are still here watching all this stuff, if y'all email me, my email is in the description below. I will drop y'all some. I know I still owe somebody some. I got his information from one of the last lives I did. I know I owe somebody that. It's been a crazy week. I haven't had a chance to do any of that yet. I got to go and convert some, because all my BitHarvest is pooled, staked in pools and stuff like that. So y'all, you know, maybe 2 or 3 people. I'm not going to do a whole bunch, but I'll take, so, because I don't want to profit off that project. So I'm going to take that token, convert it to BitHarvest token, and I'll airdrop it to some people. So contact me. Tell me you saw this on the video, that you're interested in the token, and then we'll make arrangements from there after that. Don't put anything more than that. And, you know, I'll do that for the first 2 or 3 people that come in, and for those who stay watch the video. Other than that, I'll say we need to get over all this stuff. It's been an exhausting day dealing with all this craziness and foolishness and stuff like that. There's enough crypto and enough crypto projects for all of us to do these projects. People are passionate about their projects. I'm gonna say this again. I know I'm repeating myself. Get over it. People are passionate about their projects, and they're gonna defend their projects. And I'm not saying, you know, what party's right or wrong. I think some things went a little bit too far. I think the past history of what some of these people, one of them has been in previous discords, also speaks for itself. But both projects can still full succeed from today and not be bothered with each other. That's kind of, I just hope everybody gets over it, moves on from it. They shouldn't tarnish either project. That's all I'm gonna say. So that's it for today. I still gotta do a Cure Coin video, and who knows what else. Who knows what's gonna pop up tomorrow. But I don't want to do videos just for the sake of doing videos to keep views going and stuff like that. I'm not built like that. I'm not doing the whole, you know, clickbait and stuff like that. And I just don't want to draw myself down to that. So thank y'all for supporting my channel. You know, I got over 11,000 people, 11,000 subscribers. Hopefully I can get all this foolishness with green screen fixed and whatever like that, because it looks like I got a helmet on or something. But y'all have a good evening, and I'll see y'all in the next video.